You know the saying, give 'em hell? No. Give 'em Mel.
At least not until...
I scream, you scream, we all scream. But not as loud as her. Oh, fuck, this is gonna be hard to get through. Hello, Whovians, and welcome to my Doctor Who rant. This time, it's on Terror of the Vervoids, parts 9 to 12 of Trial of the Time Lord, which is technically speaking Colin Baker's penultimate story as the Sixth Doctor. Well, you could say that, but also you could say Revelation of the Daleks is technically his penultimate story, as Trial of the Time Lord is one massive story. But to make it easier, I'm just going to say this is his penultimate story. The plot of Terror of the Vervoids, if there is one, is that in a desperate bid to clear his name, the Doctor presents his defence to the charges laid against him. In the year 2986, the Starliner Hyperion 3 makes its way to Earth, but all is not well. The Doctor and Mel arrive in response to a distress call, although not in time to prevent a murder. And this will not be the only death. Someone abroad will kill again and again to protect their secret. And while the murderer closes in above decks, in the hydroponic center, a terrifying new breed of creature is about to awaken. Yeah, terrifying new breed of creature. Oh my god, Terror of the Vervoids is shit. It is ungodly shit. Look, at the end of the day, I haven't liked Trial of the Time Lord so far, as you can see from my reviews, and it's just my personal opinion. My personal opinion is simply that I'm not going in there to be negative. I've never seen this before. I'm going in there blind, and I haven't liked Mysterious Planet. I haven't liked Mind Warp. But this one turned out to be even worse. The structure, the momentum, the pacing, it's just all wrong. It is the cheapest looking Doctor Who story I have seen so far. The sets are awful here. You can really tell how campy and how cheap this story is. Now, because it's campy, it doesn't make it bad. If you're going to be campy, then go with it. But the fact that they want us to take this seriously makes me laugh at it. It makes me think, well, they clearly don't understand what the tone is. And I know there was a lot of conflicts going around during this time of the show, and I apologized in my previous reviews. I haven't mentioned Eric Saywood very much, and I know he was the cause of some of those problems. It's all a mess, guys. It's all a mess. This is a disaster from beginning to end. It just doesn't make any sense. First of all, we get introduced to a new companion, or do we? The character of Mel gets basically no introduction in the show. We first see her when the Doctor is on his exercise bike. She's giving him carrot juice and she's helping him to exercise, and it's just like, well, where did she come from? And apparently she's someone from his future. This trial plot is getting even more convoluted, because how can he be put on trial for something that hasn't actually happened yet? Why would he be put on trial for something that happens in the future? It doesn't make any sense to me. So I just think, once again, the storytelling is incredibly poor, and I'm not going to apologize for my opinion. I'm sorry. I refuse to apologize for something that blatantly, isn't working. I'm sorry, it just isn't working to me. Well, as for the character of Mel, I'm sure the worst of her is yet to come in Sylvester McCoy's era, but she does scream quite a bit in this story. She's not too bad. I mean, Bonnie Langford is a good actress, I'll give her that, but it's the screaming. Her character is so poorly written. All she does is scream for most of the story, and that scream is incredibly annoying, and I know there's going to be a hell of a lot more of it in Sylvester McCoy's era, which isn't nice, but there we go. As for Colin Baker, well, he's just the same as before. Like, he's still being over the top, and he's still hamming it up. And I do feel bad for him that he's given such a terrible, terrible script to work with, but at the same time, he's just... I mean, and he is clearly putting the effort in, but it's just his portrayal of the Doctor to me, I just cannot get behind it. I still find him to be a tiny bit unlikable. He's not the most unlikable in this story, but he's just annoying. I'm just getting fed up of him, to be honest. Michael Jaston as the Valiant is once again good, but again, these trial scenes, they just drag on so much. This story already feels way too long. And Terror of the Vervoids itself actually just drags. Nothing really happens in it. There's no mystery, there's no suspense. The reason why it doesn't work is because of how goofy this story looks. The villains. The Vervoids. Oh my god. The Vervoids. What can you say about the Vervoids that hasn't already been said? The Vervoids are shit. They are some of the worst Doctor Who villains ever. Their design is terrible. They're these massive bug-eating plant humanoid creatures. It looks like they have dried spaghetti stuck in their mouths. It's just so campy and it's so strange. And the voices, you cannot understand a single word they're saying. I mean, the voices don't work because they sound like robots. And also the diction of the voices, as I've just said, really doesn't work either. So I just don't know where I stand with these villains. I think they're just terrible. I think they are awful. And when they get, you know, turned into autumn leaves at the end of the story... that's just laughably bad. I mean, I laughed at this story so much. I really did. I mean, it's just awful. One thing I haven't mentioned yet about Trial of a Time Lord is the fact that every single cliffhanger zooms into Colin Baker's face, more or less. And it does become very repetitive, to be honest, and slightly monotonous and annoying. The supporting cast is shit. And actually, it's a real shame because we have Professor Lasky, played by Honor Blackman, who is a great actress, and rest in peace, Honor Blackman. She passed away earlier this year. She was in, you know, the James Bond movie Goldfinger, and she was in various other things, and she's completely wasted. She doesn't do anything. Her character just basically exercises for most of the story. Big whoop. I'm not even going to bother going through the other supporting cast. They don't get much to do, and I feel sorry for them having to look terrified of these Vervoids, which just looks so silly beyond belief. They really do. The script is such a mess. The script is a convoluted mess. One thing I'll say about Mind Warp is at least, you know, Perry's exit actually hit quite hard. With this, you know, Pip and Jane Baker, they just proved that they cannot write. I'm sorry, they cannot write. This is a terrible story. It's a mess. Even the prosthetic makeup looks really bad. And when the humans are actually turning into the Vervoids, it just still looks very cheap and very silly. The green screen, oh my god. We're back in Underworld green screen land, folks. Oh, fuck me. It's just so bad. Like, all the green screen shots of outer space look terrible. There's even a moment where the guards, or whatever they are, they're playing Space Invaders for some reason. I have no idea why. I don't even know what they're called. Once again, as I've said, just the whole story, this Trial of a Time Lord thing, it's just become so messy and so convoluted. It's like, what are they actually putting him on trial for? Okay, stuff he's done in the past and then stuff he's going to do in the future, but how is he to know what he's going to do in the future yet? I just don't think it works. I just don't think it makes any lick of sense, to be honest. And while I acknowledge there were a lot of behind-the-scenes problems at the time, that doesn't excuse bad writing and bad storytelling. And I'm sorry, this is what it is. It is bad writing and bad storytelling. As penultimate stories go, this is pretty bad, to be honest. Pretty bad. And again, like I said, these all just feel like individual adventures anyway. So, to be honest, like, I kind of forgot about the whole trials plot until they cut back to it every so often. I see this as Colin Baker's penultimate story, and it's a real shame. I didn't want to do another Doctor Who rant on Colin's era. I really didn't. I'm sorry, but I cannot lie to you. This is awful. This is a piece of shit. Literally, I've never seen a cheaper looking story. I got the feeling that this story was kind of ripping off the Seeds of Doom from Tom Baker's era, which had sort of plant-based villains. Although these look twice as cheap and twice as, you know, silly. It's just, it is just cringeworthy to watch. It is incredibly cringeworthy. And I just feel bad for Bonnie Langford. She never got a proper introduction. She's just in the TARDIS when they begin the story. I just don't understand it. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't flow. So at the end of the day, I have nothing more to say. And also the music is shit. The music is shit as well. So they haven't improved that either. At the end of the day, it's not going to be a long rant, folks. I'm sorry. I have nothing else to say. I think Terror of the Vervoids is awful. It's a terrible Doctor Who story. The sets are cheap. It's poorly acted, poorly written. It's a disaster. Trying to think of the good things. Honor Blackman is good in it, although she's wasted. And the supporting cast, they try their best, but Bonnie Langford isn't terrible in it, but her screaming is terrible. So I'm just gonna have to give this. You'll be shocked. I'm gonna give it a 1 out of 10. Fuck this. You know, they should have actually retitled this story, How to Grow Your Greenhouse. Because literally that's all it is. It's just about plants. And yeah. I just feel so bad for Colin Baker. And also another point, Colin Baker's costume looks ridiculous in this. He's wearing another ascot with stars on it, which looks so camp. And then the purple waistcoat. Oh, God. The campiness will just never end until the end of Classic Who now. But anyway, we come to the fourth and final segment next time, which is Colin Baker's last story, which will be The Ultimate Foe. Although it's, again, Trial of the Time Lord is technically his last story, but to make it easier for myself, I'm just going to say The Ultimate Foe is his last story. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting ending to another Doctor's era. I feel like I didn't finish Davison that long ago, so yeah, Colin's era has been a very interesting one, to say the least. But yeah, I will definitely be doing a tribute for Colin, don't worry. Just because I don't like him doesn't mean I won't pay my respects to him, and I will, of course, rank the 4 segments of this season, so I feel like I have to say segments because it is all technically one story. But anyway, thank you very much all for watching this rant, and what do you think of Terror of the Vervoids? I mean, God, if anyone likes this, I'll be surprised, but it's your opinion. Stay tuned next time when I review The Ultimate Foe, and until next time, I'm Mr. TARDIS11. See you soon. Bye for now.